So what to do after you lost the fight? First of all, look at this shirt, right? It's my old Pancras gym shirt, Chikara. Do you know what it means? It means strength and power. And strength is what you need to be a real man. Now you're going to say, come on, Bas, it would be great if you have a brain as well. Yeah, of course, you're correct. But I don't mean strength in physical strength, although that's really nice. I think a man needs to have a lot of mental strength. It's going to be hard in training, first of all, but it's also takes strength to be patient, to be generous, to have nobility. Strength is also love. That's what I mean. Okay, so what do you do after a loss? Well, some fighters are completely destroyed when they lose a fight. I never was. I would simply know that I needed to work harder. So I did just that, training harder, right? If you lose, for instance, by a submission, and you make sure you never lose by that same submission again, now you just made yourself stronger. Oh, that's nice. And don't be stupid. Don't blame it on my opponent cuts more weight and therefore he was stronger than me because he was heavier in the fight. That's such a sorry-ass excuse. The dumbest thing there is. It's so easy to blame it on others. You know, others than yourself. We all do it. It's never our fault. But in truth, it is our own fault. Now, I fought when there were no weight classes, so I couldn't simply use that excuse, which even if I could, I would never use it because then I would let the world know that I'm a complete sissy. It's like being overweight. But it's so hard for me. I have so much going on in my life. I can't do it because of that. No, not true. Simply look at your phone and look at the screen time you had that day and take 1 hour of that screen time that you're freaking scrolling online to get yourself healthy. We all want to take a pill, you know, a shortcut because our wills are too weak. And people tell me, well, that's easy for you to say, Bas, because you can keep your eating under control. Yes, but we all have different vices. Mine is alcohol and drugs. As hard as it is for you not to eat, that's how hard it is for me not to drink or to do drugs. Weird, right? Yeah. I simply tell myself, do I want to be a pussy? And that comes from the word pusillanimous, lack of courage, cowardly. Or do I want to be a man who can control himself? And of course, the same counts for women. And that's the same in fighting. You lose, you got to train harder. If that's too hard for you, stop fighting because you're not a fighter. Because you already lost the mental game, right? If living the life you want is hard, be happy. Nothing excellent can come from not working hard. Plus, the harder you have to work, the bigger the payoff will be when you win. And when you lose, there we go again. Train even harder. You need to suffer even more. But my coach is bad, so leave him and find another one. Most of the time, though, that is also an excuse. How do I know? Well, I didn't have a coach. I done everything myself with one freaking training partner who also didn't know anything. And we did that for 90% of my fights. Only my 4 last fights, I had more sparring partners. Now, film yourself when you're training, when you're hitting the bag and just working out, because you want to check it out because we all believe we have good form. But once we watch the video of ourselves, we realize it's really not as good as I thought it was going to be. Losing because you didn't have enough stamina, yeah. Now you can be really hard on yourself because that's 100% on you. Go run a freaking hill. It is unacceptable to not be in shape because it's your freaking job. So stop trying to find excuses. Start training harder. And again, if that's too hard for you, stop fighting. You're not a fighter. Godspeed and Hosu. And Hosu, let's stick with that. You know, that's a karate greeting. O-S-U, not os, what people say. It comes from 2 Japanese words. Oshi, which means push, and shinobu, which means endure. To push and endure. If you want to strive for excellence in whatever profession, you're going to have to push and endure. Hosu.